Hi friends, in the previous videos I have completed the cylinder block, crankshaft, piston connecting rod and cylinder head. In this video I am going to talk about the camshaft. Camshaft and valve train also. Camshaft can be considered as the brain of the engine because the camshaft is the one which controls the opening and closing of the valves in accordance with the piston movement inside the cylinder. Valve train comprising of the camshaft, push rods, tappets, cam followers, rocker arm and valves. Friends, before going to the camshaft, let us look at this animation of the diesel engine operating on 4-stroke principle. Okay, this is the piston movement up and down and drawing the air inside, compressing, and the power is produced because of the injection spray, and the exhaust gases are driven out. This is the job of the piston which is doing inside the cylinder. And observe these both valves, this inlet valve and exhaust valve, are opening and closing in relation to the movement of the piston. How this valve opening is taking place. So this job is done by the camshaft. You can see the cam lobes here. These are rotating. When the cam lobes are pressing this, the valve is opening, and again the valve is closing with the spring tension. So this is the job. The opening and closing of the valve in relation to the movement of the piston is the job of the camshaft. What is meant by a camshaft? What is meant by a cam? Cam is nothing but the projected portion of a rotating part. If this is a rotating part, if this is the center axis, this is the cam. Okay, and this portion is called the cam lobe. This is called the base circle of the cam. This is called the base circle of the cam because the camshaft rotates in this axis. And what is meant by camshaft? A camshaft is nothing but the one which contains the cam or number of cams within itself. This is, for example, this is the 8-cylinder camshaft. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Then we have seen this figure here. The valves are opening and closing exactly as per the movement of the piston to perform the combustion process effectively and efficiently. So this job is done by the camshaft. That's why the camshaft is called the brain of the engine. Camshaft operates both the valves at appropriate time, opening and closing, okay, to perform the combustion process efficiently. And this is the gear fitted to the one end of the camshaft to get the drive from the crankshaft. This crankshaft and the camshaft both are connected through the gears, or in some models the both are connected through the belt or even through the chain also. So technically these both are dependent on each other. Technically, function wise, both are depending on each other. Why both are depending on each other? This is the crankshaft connected to the piston through a connecting rod. The crankshaft rotates when the piston moves. So when there is a power stroke, the piston moves. When the piston moves, crankshaft moves. But to get the power, the valves have to open and close. Inlet valve has to open to draw the air inside, and it has to be compressed by closing both the valves. Then power has to be generated. Then exhaust, for driving out the exhaust gases, the exhaust valve has to be opened. So this job is done by the camshaft. So that's why these two shafts are technically interconnected to perform the total engine job. Then another important thing here, to complete the four operations: suction, compression, power and exhaust, that is 4 strokes, crankshaft needs to rotate 2 revolutions. whereas the camshaft has to complete the 4 operations of the cycle, that is suction, compression, power and exhaust, in only 1 revolution. So for every 2 revolutions of the crankshaft, camshaft has to rotate only 1 revolution. That is the one more important thing. And to perform the job of the opening and closing of the valves in accordance with the movement of the piston inside the cylinder, both gears are to be appropriately matched. This is called timing. So if it is a gear type drive, there will be a timing mark. In case of the chain, still there will be a timing mark both on chain and gears, and in case of the belt also there is a different process of the timing. So there will be timing mark which needs to be maintained during assembling of the engine or servicing the camshaft or crankshaft. If the timing mark is not matched, there is every possibility whether the engine may not work at all, or sometimes it leads to the valve bending, pushrod bending, even to the extent of catastrophic failure of the engine. So timing mark is very, very critical. This is how the camshaft looks like. It is the photo or figure of a camshaft fitted within the block. And there are some model of the engines where the camshaft is fitted above the cylinder head. That is called overhead camshaft. Now let us look into the detail of the valve train. What is meant by the valve train? The component right from valve, springs, guide, spring holders and locks. This is called rocker arm and push rod, cam followers, camshaft. All these parts together called as the valve train. Okay? Because this mechanism used in the engine to open and close the valves. And valve seats, I'm sorry, I forgot, valve seats are here. This complete mechanism is called as the valve train. Okay. Looks like this. What happens when the crankshaft rotates, the camshaft also rotates. So in this position, this is called cam lobe. In this position, the push rod is lifted up, causing to lift this rocker lever. This is called rocker arm or rocker lever. When the rocker arm is lifted, at this end, this rocker arm is pivoted to a shaft called rocker shaft, okay, in the center, or maybe little bit off center based on the engineering drawing, based on so many factors like this lobe height, amount of the valve to be opened and all. So this is lifted here. When it is lifted here, because of the pivot action here, this comes down. This comes down. When it comes down, it presses the valve against the spring pressure, creating a gap. Okay. If it is exhaust, the exhaust gases goes like this. If it is inlet valve, inlet fresh air comes like this. Sooner the lift is over, and this, for example, this rotates further like this clockwise. Okay. Gradually height starts coming down. When the height starts coming down, because of the spring pressure here, the valve is pulled up, rocker arm is traveled upside, allowing the push rod to come down. Okay. So like this, valve is opened when the cam lobe touches, and valve is closed once it is, that lobe is moved forward. Same way here also. This is cam lobe, this is push rod, this is rocker arm, this is a rocker shaft, these are the springs, all these things and all. Again, it is, we can see this very detail about the cam. This is the axis of the camshaft, the plus mark. This complete circle is called the base circle. So as long as the push rod is push rod is seated in this circle, the valve is closed. Valve opening starts from this place. From here to here it is called ramp. Means it is from opening ramp. So valve opening starts here and valve is fully opened here at the nose. And again valve closing starts here. It is fully lifted here. From here valve closing starts from this place and closes at this place. So this is about the cam. You can see the animation, how when the lobe comes here, push rod is lifted, rocker arm is lifted one side and rocker arm is again pressed the other side, causing the opening of the valve. This is how camshaft works. Now let us just have a look about the various parts in the valve train. In the last video we discussed about the valves, valve seats, valve spring, guides, etc. In this video we will discuss about the remaining parts. Camshaft we already discussed, and now it is called cam follower. Push rod will never be directly seated on the cam lobe because there is very possibility push rod will slip down. There is something intermediate part to hold the push rod securely over and above the cam lobe. That secured part is nothing but the cam follower, which follows the cam. It's not only meant to secure the push rod, it also meant to move over the cam lobe with minimum friction. These are all rollers supported with the pins, okay, lubricated again. So this is a roller. Because of the roller movement and all, the friction generated during the rotation is minimized. Further, the lubrication is provided here. And this portion, cylindrical portion, will be moving up and down in the cylinder block. This is moving and push rod is moving. So these are all cam followers, and lubrication passage will be there. You can see this here. There are different types of cam followers. Not necessary that every cam follower should look like this. This is a push rod. This is a cylindrical steel tube. Both ends are designed to match this valve train. This end sits in this cam follower, whereas this end is the top end where the tappet adjusting screw mounts here. About the tappet adjustment we will discuss in the next video. These are the rocker levers or rocker arms. There will be bearings inside, which is not shown here. The rocker arms are assembled to a rocker shaft like this, and this is mounted on the cylinder head. You can see this like this. This is mounted on the cylinder head. You can see this end is always touching the valve stem, whereas this end will be touching the push rod. You can see the hole also provided here for fixing the tappet adjusting screws. The one more important thing you have to know here, this particular place, this tip, whatever is the metal tip is there, it is a very hardened material, because this will be always hitting the valve stem. So to withstand for the friction and temperature, a special material is provided here for the rocker lever. We discussed about the camshaft and the parts associated with the valve train. Now we will discuss about the valve timing. This is called valve timing diagram. What is meant by valve timing? As per the theory, our understanding is that the inlet valves open during the suction stroke, that is when the piston travels from TDC to BDC, that is one stroke, half revolution of the crankshaft, that is 180 degrees of the crankshaft. And during the compression and exhaust strokes, both valves are closed, that is BDC to TDC 180 degrees, Again, during power stroke, TDC to BDC, another 180 degrees. 360 degrees, both valves are closed. And exhaust stroke, from BDC to TDC, another 180 degrees, the exhaust valve kept opens. This is as per the theory. But in practical, the valve openings are not for exactly 180 degrees. Valve timing means at what angle the valve starts opening, till what duration the valve is kept in open position, and at what angle the valve is closed. This is called valve diagram. The valve timing diagram is designed by the engine manufacturer precisely in relation to the movement of the piston inside the cylinder. Okay. Now let us look into the valve timing diagram. Okay. Here the suction stroke starts, this green line, starting of the piston movement from TDC to BDC. So before the starting of the suction stroke, 25 degrees before starting of the suction stroke, inlet valve is opened here. So inlet valve opened 25 degrees prior to starting of the suction stroke and kept open during entire suction stroke 180 degrees, and also further 25 degrees even after the intake stroke and even after starting the compression stroke. From here compression stroke starts. Okay. The total duration of the inlet valve open is 25 plus 180 plus 25. 230 degrees the inlet valve is opened in this particular model. Then inlet valve closes here. Okay, piston is traveling and reaches TDC. Okay, injection starts little bit ahead of the compression stroke. This we'll discuss in detail why it is started ahead of the compression stroke. We'll discuss in detail in the fuel injection system. Now let us look at this here. This valve is closed. Exhaust valve anyhow it is closed, and further during the power stroke. Okay, so from TDC to BDC, here before reaching the piston to BDC means before the end of the power stroke, the exhaust valve is opened here. 50 degrees before the end of the power stroke, or 50 degrees ahead of the beginning of the exhaust stroke. Here the power stroke ends, from here the exhaust stroke begins. So before the end of the power stroke or prior to the beginning of the exhaust stroke, the exhaust valve is open. Why it is open 50 degrees ahead means whenever the combustion takes place inside the cylinder during the power stroke, the exhaust gases, burnt gases having their own internal pressure to get escaped through the exhaust port. On their own exploded pressure, the gases starts escaping from here. It is kept opened throughout the exhaust stroke. Further, beyond the exhaust stroke for another 15 degrees. The total duration of the exhaust valve open is 50 degrees plus 180 degrees plus another 15 degrees. 245 degrees it is opened. Inlet valve is opened for 230 degrees, exhaust valve is opened for almost 245 degrees. You see this here, in this particular period, exhaust inlet valve is open 25 degrees ahead of the completion of the exhaust stroke, whereas exhaust valve is opened even after the completion of the exhaust stroke and for quite some time even during the starting of the intake stroke. So this 25 plus this 15, okay, total 40 degrees is called overlap. During this 40 degrees, both valves are kept open. This is called when the both valves are kept open. In this case, it is 40 degrees. In other engines, it may be different, maybe 30, maybe 35, like that. This period, the time when both the inlet and exhaust valves are kept open is called as a valve overlap. This is because the fresh air entry pushes the residual exhaust gases out. The fresh air entry inside the cylinder pushes the leftover exhaust gases out of the cylinder. Okay. This duration, angles and all depending upon the engine manufacturer design. The core purpose of this valve timing is to allow the maximum possible amount of the fresh air inside the cylinder and get the maximum possible power, point number 1. Point number 2, to completely evacuate the burnt gases. These two are the main reasons behind having this precise valve timing. I am giving 3 pages of notes along with this one. Hope this will be useful to you.